And I'm trying to think of some other animals I know in Finnish.
We had rabbits even. We used to.
On the farm you had rabbits?
Yeah.
You should confirm this is on before you.
Yeah. Rabbits on the farm?
Because nothing changed.
Yep. So, can you recall where you were born? What city you were born in?
I was born in Cook.
Cook.
Yes. And I drove school bus. I was first one to get a motorized school bus up there.
You drove the school bus in Cook?
Yeah.
And
then when I moved to Virginia, I got that job from the U.S. Steel. I got watch from the U.S. Steel for driving workers to work then.
And how old, can you recall how old you might have been?
I was about 17. I just graduated from high school.
And you were driving the mine workers to the mine?
Yeah, and there were some of them, you know, they'd get late and boy, the other guys would swear, you know, if you ever ride this bus, you better get out here.
Did they think you were a bad driver?
No, they liked me, you know.
Oh, and they were playing with you?
Yeah, you know, in Duluth, you ever drive in Duluth?
Yes.
Well, I had to go right through Duluth to two harbors and two.
With the bus?
Yeah, and then I went from there to California and then back around through all of them state, Wyoming and North Dakota and South Dakota. And then when you come out in Canada, they search the bus if what you got in the bus.
Because the customs agent.
Yeah, and then I go home and I got the school bus right in Virginia then.
So, and when did you finally start working in the mine as a mechanic?
I was about
No,
how old was I?
that was before, right after we got married. You went and applied at U.S. Steel for a job.
Yeah. How old do you think I was?
Don't ask me.
Yeah, I was just a young kid.
A young kid?
You were more than a young kid. You were older.
Yeah.
Maybe 19 years old?
20s, in his 20s.
Early 20s?
Mm-hmm. If I was 18, I'm 10 years. He was 28.
Okay. How about, and do you think the war would have started by then? World War II?
Oh yeah, it was going on already. So,
We could hear the rumble, you know, where I was stationed at
And where were you stationed?
in Minneapolis.
In what service? Was it the Army?
Yes.
And so you were in the Army for how many years?
The war lasted, I guess, about 2 years or 3 years. And then they had a big cap, you know, made out of rough board. Sometimes in the wintertime they get pretty cold, so they got, you know, some bigger stoves in there, and they hauled coal in from Cook, and we had coal stoves in those, well, we slept every night.
So the coal was used to
Yeah.
run the heaters.
Yeah, but you know, I lived in Virginia, and then they had them plugs you could plug into, you know, holes where you keep that motor warm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you think you went into the service before you worked for U.S. Steel?
Yeah,
And then, so when you got,
yeah.
can you recall what year you got out of working for the Army?
Oh,
44, 45 anyway.
And I was a good shooter. I didn't know Dorothy were there. I was going to school in Cook, and I throw up a ball, and I shoot it with a revolver, and I hit it every time.
With a pistol or a rifle?
With a revolver.
Revolver.
Yeah.
Was-
And everybody says, beware of Pernu. You can't run away from him.
So
Yeah.
was that a military revolver, or that was your own personal revolver?
And the military gave it to me. And one guy stole it, and I got it back from him.
Can you recall the Depression years?
Pardon?
The Depression years before World War II, in the 30s,
Oh, you must remember them.
when the stock market had the big crash.
Oh, yes, I remember that. And the only ones that had any life at that time were the farmers.
The farmers,
Yeah,
because they could raise their own food.
Yeah, we lived where there was a rice river even, and we got our own rice, everything of our own.
And people on the Iron Range had problems.
Yeah, I went working in my mine there. And,
At that time, you started to work at the mine.
yeah, right, not long after graduation, and I got a pension from there.
Did many of your brothers work in the mine?
They were all tract laborers.
They didn't all work in the mine, only about
Yeah,
Clifford
yeah,
and you and the older ones,
yeah.
but none of the others.
And so, were you stationed in Minneapolis for how many years do you think? All 3 years or 2 years?
I was there quite a few years. I think I was there about 5 years. Because that's the first time they ever fixed a broken leg.
And so your broken leg had healed improperly, and they tried to repair.
Yeah, they got it pretty good then.
But your arm was still bad.
And now I'm paralyzed below too.
So, did you write letters to your family?
Oh, yes. And I don't know, we did all right though.
And what did your father do?
Huh?
What did your father do for an occupation?
Belt broke off the sawmill and caught me and threw me against a stump.
He asked
That's how
for-
you broke your arm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
But
asked
your
what
father,
what did Grandpa
Adolf,
do?
Yeah.
your father Adolf, what did he do for a living?
He was he could have been a foreman. I told him to be a boss because the bosses didn't get no, pension. I told him, don't be a boss, Pa. Don't be a foreman, be a boss. So him and my mother got both pensions from there.
And did your mother work in the mine too?
No, she worked at home, but she had plenty of work.
She had a lot of work at home.
Oh, yeah, with 19 children, yes.
Yes, and of course, we had a 160-acre farm, and you had to work hard too.
And what did you raise on the farm?
Yeah,
Did you have?
we had our own generator. I made it out of two truck engines.
Your own generator,
Yeah,
and that provided the electricity for the farm?
yeah.
And what type of animals did you raise?
We had cows and horses, and then we had the first steam trash machine there. And we
As-
threshed for all the other farmers too, you know.
A steam thresher?
Yeah. And for separating out, we throw in back bundles of wheat and it'd come out the seed and below there's a stream shaking back and forth.
Yes.
And then when they blew out all the electron and the seeds fell to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a good life there.
And
And what am I? 91 or what am I today?
94?
94 years old, yes.
Eh, now, you're a Finlander.
Yes.
Did you have a sauna on the farm?
Oh, yes.
And did you go to the sauna every day?
Just about every, after work, you had to go.
No, you had to go.
You were so dirty and wet, you know, after a day's work on a farm that if you need, you'd be all eating them hay seeds.
Yes. And did your mother and father speak Finnish or Swedish or English?
They went. They spoke Finn when they went to cook, but there's I told them to go to night school, you know.
And to learn English?
Yeah, and I used to bring them there, and then I'd help with their schoolwork too.
So, did all the children speak Finnish at home?
Yeah, they were both English and Finnish. And one of my boys got married to an Irish girl.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, she married a Irish husband. And I used to go up there and argue with him just for the heck of it. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Can you recall when you might have come back from being in the Army to the Iron Range?
Oh, yes. We know exactly the day, and you should see the cars at the train depot, and I had that bus, and I took a lot of people to their homes from there.
Okay, and that's when you came back home too?
Yeah.
And so there was a big celebration?
Oh, yes.
And then soon you got the mine job for U.S. Steel?
No, I get a pension from them.
When you retired?
Yeah.
But when you came back from the Army,
Yes.
you got a job at U.S. Steel?
Yes.
And you worked your entire life, the rest of your life at U.S. Steel?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still retired.
And today, is U.S. Steel still open?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And there's not many mines left running?
No, U.S. Steel is still running though.
We,
But boy, I was a lucky guy that I had, you know, when I took care of all the distribution of tools, you know, and I was looking at one big boulder that was hanging on about a 30-foot ridge, and I seen the dirt was dripping off, and I hurried up like heck, and I made 2 trips and got the guys out. I just got the guys out of there when that caved out.
the big boulder came down,
Yeah, and nobody got hurt neither.
and that would be scary.
No.
So, can you recall how life was in the mine when it was really, really cold?
We had a warming shack there. You know, some of the bosses were warming shacks, so they went on strike, so they had 10 minutes off every when it's real cold. You know, go in the shack and drink coffee, get warmed up.
How about when it's in the middle of summer and when it's very hot and humid?
Oh yes, but there's not much you can do about it. They had fans in them shacks though, and we had fans in our house too.
And the fans help.
Yeah.
And when, but you worked as a mechanic or repairman
Yes.
for the vehicles.
Yeah.
Um,
And boy, there were some tough jobs too though.
And how about the equipment? How many different types of equipment would you work on?
Like they had adjustment screws on them, you know. Yeah, adjust them just right, you know. That when loading even, you know, hold up and pull them, it work just right.
And did you ever work on the engines?
Oh yes, a lot of them engineers say, you're here to take over for a while. I'm gonna take a 5 hour. I'll go out there and be the brakeman, you know.
And did you work on the trains at all?
Oh, I worked quite a bit. I don't know how much. But the crane business, they paid the best.
And how big were these trucks that were working in the mines?
I don't know. They have, I think, about 10 or 20 tons of,
They could hold.
yeah. And, well, yeah, even if you hit a little bumpy on that, if you had a tight hold on that wheel, you could hurt your hands.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so, can you recall what year you might have retired from U.S. Steel?
Holy crap, that's so long. That was done.
Well, you started there in 42.
Yeah, and
And-
then there was a depression there. And I was the only one. I was a watchman there then. And then there's a couple of policemen helping me.
When you were
Retired.
oh
42. And you had how many years in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
were you able to retire early? At a younger age?
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm 91 now. It's 40 years ago when I retired.
I think you're 94 now.
Yeah, 94.
Is it 94 or 95?
Yeah.
It'll be 95 in December.
December? Oh, okay. And when you worked at the mine, did you ever see your brothers,
Oh.
brother working there too?
Yeah, they were, when we all lived in Virginia, so we seen each other.
Okay. And so, your family moved to Virginia, or?
I remember when we lived in Cook, we didn't have to buy much on groceries. There's a good rice river there. We picked rice from there and we fished from there.
And you could catch fish.
Yeah.
What kind of fish?
Any kind. And I caught two of the biggest fish there. They're about 30-pound muskies.
That would be nice.
Yeah. And I caught them just with a regular line.
Kala.
Yeah.
Kalamoyaka.
Yeah, kidding the bee, man.
So the house you lived at in Virginia, is it still there today?
Yes. We sold it to a man by the name of Velo.
Oh, another Finlander.
Yeah.
And can you recall all the different nationalities that worked in the mine?
Oh yeah, there were Greeks and Polacks and Finland and Swedes, anything you can think of.
Irish?
Yeah, there was one of my sons got married to an Irish girl, you know,
Yep, yep.
and my son went and talked to him, you know, and I went with him too, and we just laughed, you know, about it.
To be married to an Irish girl. Can you recall different ethnic celebrations in town? Like, did the Finns have special days
Yeah, they had the Finnish festival.
once every year,
Yeah.
Like every summer.
every summer?
Yeah.
Was it during midsummer?
Yeah, right around in that area,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I had a friend, John Lintel, he had a jewelry shop, and he barely could walk, you know. So I made him a walker, and, you know, in a little cart he could just ride around in.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave Dorothy and I a wedding ring and an engagement ring for nothing. And I got lots of other tools from him. You know, I can tell the weather at home and when it's going to rain. All that, yeah.
You mean a gauge for humidity, temperature, and air
Yeah.
pressure?
Yeah.
Yep. Can you recall any strikes at the mines that caused problems?
Oh yes. But mine was always one.
The mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. They, do they ever have severe storms that caused
Oh,
either
yes.
like a tornado or a huge down fall of water or rain that caused huge problems, or blizzards?
Well, they had great big pumps watering that water out of the pits.
Because was water always coming into the pits?
Yes, and there was one of the real steep hill, and some of them guys didn't know how. You know, I went down in low gear always. I always got down safely, and I could stop when I wanted to. Some of them guys thought that let it coast down, and it's too late to start when it starts to coast or try and shift, you know.
In the trucks or the
Yeah.
vehicles?
Yeah, and then they were out there raked, and they get into that water, and then I had to go down there with the wrecker and pull them out.
Yep. Were there a lot of people killed in accidents in the mines?
There were 60 when I was there, and the greatest trouble was that they had done track gang members. You know, they had a whistle when there's going to be a blast, and some of the track guy, never mind, boys, it's done,
But a whistle would mean there was an accident?
yeah.
When the whistle would blow?
Yeah,
That meant an accident, or it was a break time?
the break inward.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, was your job always doing mechanic work then, the entire time you worked for U.S. Steel?
Yeah. I did everything for them.
And today, who owns U.S. Steel? Is it a big corporation, or?
Yeah. It's still a U.S. deal.
Yep. And so when you retired, was there a big party for you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know, they were gonna have that the most, where people were standing outside, Mr. Vedas there was the school superintendent, and
Yes.
so I went up there and asked him if we can have a party up there. Before you sit, I'll do anything, he said. And you should see it.
This was at the Moose Lodge, or?
No, it's in the Virginia Auditorium.
Oh, the auditorium.
Yeah. They're standing in the halls, you know, trying to squeeze in.
So it was quite the celebration.
Yeah.
Yep,
Dorothy, do you recall that?
I sure do.
And
The
I
hardest part was when he didn't have to go to work anymore.
Yeah, what does
That
he
was-
do? Was he bored?
Yes.
Well-
He had to be busy all the time.
Yeah. Well, or Sydney, what did you do for a hobby?
Oh, he did a lot of things. He made furniture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was always busy.
Was he in the garage or?
In the garage, in the garage, yes.
You know, there's a guy in the corner too, he had a garage, and he was supposed to be the assessor too, you know. And I was wondering, how the heck, I mean, my tax is so high, and I looked at his, and his was low. And I went up to the taxation department, and they came and taxed me what it should be, and that guy got fired.
That was what, property taxes?
Yeah. He was mad because he wasn't getting any business. Yeah.
No, when you retired, you lived in Mountain Iron.
Yes.
Is there a lot of Finlanders that live in Mountain Iron?
Oh, they're all Finlanders.
Oh.
Yeah, there were lots of them
A
there.
lot of them,
Yeah.
And a lot of Italians too.
Italians there too?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you have many relatives from Finland come to visit ever?
Oh, yes, I've seen my great-great-grandmother even, she was 109 years old.
190.
9.
109. And she came to visit?
Huh?
And she came to visit?
Yeah, and then she lived with us till she died.
Oh. And can you remember her name?
It was some kind of Hanu something. Well, it was Pernu, yeah.
It was Hanu,
I can't think of it right now.
yeah. Because I think Hanu is normally a
Yeah.
boy's name.
Yeah.
And can you recall what part of Finland your relatives were from?
From Latvia.
Latvia?
Yeah.
Originally?
Huh?
They were originally from Latvia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you recall if any relatives in Finland were in the war with Russia?
Oh, yes, my brother Fred was it.
He wasn't from Finland, Dad.
Yeah.
No, Fred wasn't. He wasn't in Finland.
No, but there was a guy by the name of Avyce Pernu. He was a farmer from Finland.
He lived near you?
In Neva. They lived out in Nekku. And once we had some kind of disease on the potatoes, and their cows broke through the fence, you know, because they had just field, and the cows got sick, and they started to blame us for killing their cows.
And they got sick because they ate the bad potatoes?
Yeah. So they didn't get any place anyway for it.
Can you recall what you did as a child for fun?
We raised everything from,
No, you didn't. You used to have ropes across the alley so that if somebody's hat fell off.
yeah,
Yeah. There was a bunch of those boys that always got together and thought of something crazy to do.
Yeah, and caused mischief.
Yes.
What else did you do as a child? Can you recall for fun?
I worked in a wood stew. We made pulpwood.
Well, you had fun days. You didn't work all the time.
No.
How about did you play hockey or
Yeah, I played hockey and baseball.
baseball? And you ran track,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pole vaulted.
I only had a bad hand, but I could throw good, you know.
Yeah.
And I know I wasn't even married to her yet. There's a girl there, she was throwing the ball up, and I had a 22 rifle, and when that ball was flying, I hit it every time.
A sharpshooter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you would go swimming in the lake in the winter or in the summertime, and
Yeah.
go fishing in the lake.
Yeah.
The farm you had in Cook, was it near a lake?
Yeah. And we smoked our own fish.
Yeah. Well, Finlanders have to smoke the fish.
Yeah.
Yes.
And would you ever go out netting the fish?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes. Dorothy and I used to go a lot of times out.
We used to put blankets on the bottom of the boat when the kids were little,
Mm-hmm.
and we had them lay there while we were fishing.
Fishing. Yeah.
And I got some pictures of Niagara Falls. You could see big fish falling down.
Through the falls
Yeah.
with the water.
Yeah, and, that was it's someplace between Canada and Minnesota there.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Arnold? Your brother Arnold, was he older than you or younger than you?
He's older.
He was older.
Yeah, but he was a good piano player.
A good piano player.
Yeah. I played piano too in the violin, but I hurt my arm then.
Yeah. Could Arnold also play violin?
Yeah.
And did you learn on your own, or did you have an instructor?
I had an instructor for about 2 weeks. That's all it took.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
How about Arnold? Did he have an instructor?
No, he didn't have any.
He learned on his own.
Mm-mm.
Did he love the piano?
Yeah, sure
Oh,
did.
yes.
And did he ever try to do it as an occupation?
Oh yes. He had a partner by the Russell Pickering that played the violin. Then he played the dances.
And they play at night there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he make a little extra money?
Yeah.
I think I heard he also was a bricklayer.
Oh yes, and I was a bricklayer too.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like the streets in Mountain there too, I worked on them.
And how old were you when you did that?
But I don't know, I must have been about 30 or 40.
No, you weren't. You were working in the mine and you didn't work them.
Huh?
You did it before you were 30.
Yeah.
What else can you remember about Arnold?
Well, Arnold tried to run a restaurant, and then he had some guy that was stealing all the money from the till always. So he quit that work.
And what kind of restaurant? What kind of
Working
food?
then.
Oh, okay. Well, Arnold was my grandfather, and I don't remember anything about him or my grandmother.
Oh,
Did you ever meet his first wife?
huh?
Did you ever meet Arnold's first wife,
Yes.
which would have been my grandmother?
Oh,
And I think her name was Ellen.
Ellen Luxo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did she have red hair?
I didn't, I don't remember ever seeing her.
Yeah.
And who was the oldest, your
Fred.
oldest sibling?
Fred
Fred?
Yeah.
And the youngest?
Avis,
Avis. Okay. And Avis is at the other,
yeah.
can you remember the place she is at?
What is the name of that place? It's right across from the,
Yeah, that's rest home, you know, for old people.
yeah, there's a
Mhm.
church there,
At
Yeah.
church, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
What's the name of it? No.
And
St. Michael's.
St. Michael's. Okay. And then Michael and Peggy live in Tower?
Yes.
Okay. And they have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jody, Michael, right? Michael's one child,
Yes,
and Jody,
yes.
and the third is,
Oof. Oof.
but Jody lives in Virginia.
Yeah. She,
Peggy lives in Virginia. Yeah, Jody lives in Virginia.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And she just had a baby, I heard.
Yep, I told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When was the last time you saw Jody?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. She stops in every once in a while.
Yeah.
And so, what do you guys play games or cards today?
We played checkers.
Checkers.
Her and I used to play lots of checkers, and we'd play, you know, card for fun of it.
I couldn't catch on to them cards.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I do put in a puzzle every day.
What kind of puzzle? The a jigsaw puzzle? No? A crossword puzzle?
Yeah, she likes crossword. These kinds.
Oh, those, yes, yes.
Yes.
You ever
I do
know?
one every day.
Yes, I've seen these before. When you find the word and you gotta
Yeah.
circle
Yeah.
when you find it? Yes. You should try to do it with a foreign language rather than English.
Why? You'd never
For
get to know
for
what's-
for a better challenge.
Oh,
Well, I used to watch that court on
What?
channel.
What, Court TV?
Yeah.
Let's see. What else can you remember about your childhood?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of rough working them days.
Yeah. How about, did you grow berries on the farm?
Yeah, we had strawberries and raspberries, and we during the depression we grew everything. We didn't have to buy a thing. And I remember I was going to school here to take, you know, I was the only one that could drive that time, and we had to buy brem hand and oats and that for the horses, cows.
Mm-hmm.
I could take that and lift it in my car and put it, nudge it in the back and bring it home.
And at the farm, did you have bear ever show up on the farm?
Yes, there's lots of bears around.
An elk or a moose?
Yeah,
Deer.
there was, I went to get the cars one time, there's a bunch of, we had a kind of entangle, we were scared of the wolves anyway, so we built that kind of entanglement for a wolf to hard to run through, And I got the cars home and I got the gun and I shot 6 wolves one day. And then we skinned them.
So you had problems with wolves.
Yeah, but they paid off anyway. My father had them tanned, and we all had fur coats.
A wolf
Yeah.
fur coat.
Yeah, and foxes.
Yes.
And we get turtles even. And we would bring them to the store window, people could watch turtles. And turtles live a long time.
You have,
Yeah,
do you have snapping turtles up here?
yeah. And we used to feed it through a cage, go in and go and grab it.
And were they big?
Oh, crap, they were big as bottom of that chair.
Yep. I'm trying to think of some more questions.
After I used to, when the turtles died, we clean them and use them as a dish.
The shell?
Yeah. And people used to wonder how they would take them.
Yeah. So, was your father then, Adolf, a farmer then, all his life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. And hard to believe he would want to have 19 children.
Yeah, but we all made it good.
Yep.
I can't imagine anyone having that many kids nowadays. I can't.
Yep. Was there one brother or sister that was very funny?
Oh yes, we used to have baseball game between each other.
Oh.
And I played Virginia football too. And I'd be looking one way and I'd make a pass,
The other way, the other direction.
Yeah, and everybody be looking that way and pass it, and we made a goal every time.
A touchdown.
Yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. Then I was sitting on the sidewalk one time and that guy drove over both my legs,
And how old were you then?
I was in school then.
Like high school? Or?
Yeah.
And that's when you broke your leg?
Yeah, and this arm. But that guy got shot then.
He got shot?
I
Yeah.
thought that arm got hurt when you, on the sawmill
Yeah,
accident.
the belt broke.
Yeah.
That's when the arm got
Yeah.
damaged. But your leg was broken when somebody ran over you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I hang up both the legs and they had a big weight pulling it, and some nurses would go by and they, boy, that hurt when that bone rubbed. So they weren't supposed to go in back of me at all.
That was in the hospital?
Yeah. I was way down in Minneapolis, no, Rochester.
At the Mayo Clinic?
Yeah. And they treated me good. she was a nurse,
A nurse.
nurse's helper, and all my kids were nurses in Rochester.
No, they weren't.
One, was there one?
Our
Yeah.
boy was a nurse,
Yeah.
a male nurse.
Yeah, in Rochester.
Yeah,
Who is Sidney Jr.?
yes.
And so he lived there how long?
Oh, well, 5 years, if not more.
Yeah.
And how long ago did he pass away?
It was 10 years ago.
And the funny thing about it, he says, "Thanks, Dad, for everything you've done for me." And I was looking at him, and all of a sudden he keeled over and died.
That's when it happened?
Yeah.
No, he was doctoring before that. But
Yeah.
that's how the things go.
Yep. That's sad. That's sad.
Yeah.
And he had how many children?
3.
3. And they all live down in Rochester?
Wisconsin. I mean, in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So there's 3 Pernus in Minneapolis.
Yes.
And their names are?
Yeah.
What is what you call the name?
They just died from old age. That's,
No, they didn't. You're talking about something else.
Sidney's children.
Sidney's kids.
oh,
Brian Pernu,
Brian.
Karen Pernu, and Lori Pernu.
Lori Pernu.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're how old now?
They're all through school, every one of them. You
And
know,
maybe going to
the boy
college?
is a teacher. Or he was a teacher until he passed away. But the girls, they've done this and that, They haven't,
You know, when we were teaching art teaching in school, and I know more than the teacher, and the teacher said, "Don't tell anybody." I said, that ain't my business. Yeah.
So what subject did you like the best in school?
Auto repair.
Auto repair?
But you needed algebra and physics for that.
Yep. Yep, that helps.
Yeah, and you know, even Bailey's mill burnt down, and he left everything there. He left big piles of lumber, and I claimed it then, and I got still one more house to sell.
One more left.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, Dorothy and I have had a good life.
That's good. That's good. So, how many mines do you think are up on the Iron Range? Is there like 10? Or were there 10? 10 or more?
oh, yeah.
And Ely and Tower and Hibbing and...
Or there has to be more than 10.
Yeah.
And how many maybe are running today? Only a couple.
Yeah.
Hmm. So,
Yeah.
Sydney, you used to read a lot.
Oh,
Yes.
And
Lots and
could you
lots.
read Finn?
Yes.
And did you read some Finnish books?
The Finnish Bible.
The Finnish Bible?
Yeah.
Oh. Now, if I heard correctly, the name Toivo in English is David. Is that correct?
That's right.
So if we look in the Bible, when it talks about David in the Finnish Bible, they'll say Toivo?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That doesn't even seem to be right. You know what, when you're translating
Yeah, except for my mom's uncle, it would be Ellen's brother,
it. Yeah,
Ellen Loxo,
yeah.
David Loxo.
Yeah.
His real name is Toivo Loxo.
Oh, terrible.
How did you come to know the Loxos?
Because my mother's mother
Oh, yeah.
is Ellen Loxo.
Oh, yeah. Ellen was a major, I know.
Yes.
I know that was a good piano player.
Player. Yep. And
Yeah.
so, well, they talk about Finlanders having trouble with drinking alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think most of them do.
Yeah.
Sydney never did.
No,
Sydney.
never bothered. But in Wilburton, John and
Arnold and Wilbert, they were good at it.
Good at what? The drinking?
But he,
Oh, and Lester.
And
yeah,
Lester?
Lester lost a good job on that.
Because of he was drinking too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was in Duluth in St. Mary's Hospital, and I was staying with him,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I finally told him, I gotta go home now. I got to finish school. So I went back to school and I graduated. And I was home 2 days and I got a job from the U.S. Steel.
But you applied for the job.
I didn't even ask for it. I was playing catch in schoolyard with some girl, and I was shooting with a slingshot, and I hit that
Ball.
ball every time.
Yeah, but how did you get the job at U.S. Steel?
I don't know.
You filled out an application?
No, I was just playing catch with a girl, and he said, "You're Sidney Pernu." I said, "What can I do for you?" And I said, "Well, I've fixed a few cars." He said, "You're just the man I need." So I went there and stayed the rest of my life there.
Working for U.S. Steel.
Yeah,
And you were maybe, how old?
I don't know.
23, 22?
Someplace around there, yeah. But
Yep.
and engineers used to fight for me. There's one, Tony Zupitz. He was a record runner, and there's some rails in a way, and he got out of that record and told that boss that you might as well go home and you block up everything, then we can't do our work, and we'd throw at him. Yeah.
And so you started with U.S. Steel maybe 1942?
Yeah.
That's right.
And the mines were producing a lot of iron ore
That's right.
because of the war.
Yeah, I was 2 days on the track gang just, and I was playing with that ball and shooting and slingshot, and he could come, fella come walking down. I had just graduated from high school. I graduated from two high school,
Cook and Virginia?
Yeah, and I was playing, catching that ball and shooting and that slingshot, and I hit it every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when there used to be crows around our place, even I used to kill them with slingshots.
Just using a rock and a...
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah.
crow.
Yeah. Hmm.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you've seen a lot of things change over time.
Oh, yes.
From the way cars have changed and airplanes have changed. And
Yeah.
now you have computers
That's right.
and people have landed on the moon and
Yeah. I remember when they landed on the moon.
you watched it on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we got married, you know, when I had this bum hand, everybody thought we're not going to make it. We made the best of them all.
That's right.
You know, we got the world's best doctors and yeah.
So did your arm hurt all the time?
No, it doesn't hurt. It's all numb. They could cut it off here and
You wouldn't feel it. It has no feeling.
no. But I mean, a good living with it.
There's
so.
a woman here on that on that short hallway where we live.
Yeah, yeah.
She had both of her legs cut off here.
What, recently?
Well, she's in the hospital now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did she have diabetes or?
I don't know what she had. I didn't have the heart to ask her.
Oh,
I thought you'd think I was a snoopy old lady.
wait, you know.
Very nice lady. I met her. I was going past the door and she smiled, you know. So I thought I'd go in and find out.
Talk to her?
Yeah. She was very nice.
But you talked to her before the operation?
No.
Oh, it was after?
This was, yeah, after.
Oh,
That's why I couldn't ask her. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ask her too many questions.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I found out she's a very nice lady.
What's her name?
Judy Nicola.
Oh, another Finlander.
Another Finlander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikunen.
Nikkonen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was the only way I could get to know her is just go and talk to her.
Yeah. And so you said you fell down and hurt your hip, and that's why you need the walker now. And how did that happen?
I ran to answer the telephone.
Oh. And is it going to get better, do you think?
Well, I suppose. I hope so.
So yeah.
That's why they don't dare to let me be home alone.
Do you need to have more calcium for your bones, or?
Yeah.
No.
You know, we had 6 meals pulling loads of hay even.
On the farm?
Yeah. And you gotta be careful with mules. When they get mad, they fight.
And kick and bite and.
Yeah.
Oof.
But we had muzzles on them just so they can eat.
Yep. And so on the farm you had fresh milk and butter
Yeah,
every day.
During the war, we didn't have to buy anything.
Well, we didn't even buy meat because we had
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
always had pigs and chickens and stuff like that, and cows.
Yeah, I was a good lumberjack, so pulpwood. Yeah.
So, did you two live in Virginia when you were first married?
Britt. In
In-
Britt.
In
Bert?
Yeah.
B-R-I-T-T.
Where's Bert?
Britt is just the next little location out of town.
North.
Yeah, just about, maybe about 8 miles, wasn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then you moved to Virginia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we lived at the farm for a while.
And Tower?
Yeah, in Britt.
Oh, in Britt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and then
we
after,
went to Virginia.
and then after that, it was Mountain Iron.
And, yeah.
Have you seen anybody famous come to visit?
Yeah, we had congressmen come visit us again, and I've been just at White House, shook hands with President Roosevelt.
Was Roosevelt?
Yes. See, he's the one that passed the law that if you're unable, you got to give the guy a job.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Well, Rukovina always comes to see us when he's in town.
Who's that?
Rukovina, Tommy Rukovina.
Yeah.
He's our congressman.
Oh, from the Iron Range.
Yes.
Yeah. He used to live across. I lived on was it 4th Street or 7th Street, or 15th Street,
15th Street.
and he lived there right across the street from me.
And he's a real nice guy. I like
Yeah,
him. Little bitty shorty.
yeah, nice guy.
You know, when I look at Sydney, I can see a little bit of my mother.
Oh, you can?
I can see a little bit of my mother.
Oh.
So the Pernu, I see the Pernu in my mom.
Pernu.
In my mom.
Uh-huh. No, they won't let you forget that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did Arnold remarry after?
No, I don't think he has.
He married that widow from by Warwick. Remember?
That, no, I didn't know. I didn't think that they were married. I thought they were just,
What,
Oh,
living
yeah,
together?
They were married.
pardon?
Living together?
Yeah.
Huh.